I am late to my own life, but only because I just had to do a quick shift because my office, for some reason, doesn't have Wi-Fi. Anyway, welcome to Katie's Arms with me, Katie Hopkins, and I hope you're all having a jolly good Friday and a start to the half term. I believe everybody should be on. In fact, most people by now should be on some kind of sunny holiday if you can bear to wrestle with the madness that you're amongst. I don't believe any of the airport nonsense or any of the train delays or any of the difficulties anyone's having. I don't believe that's by chance, not at all. I believe that's all constructed to make it as hard as you can for people to be able to go away and just kind of try and put you off ever travelling again. That's what I believe. And same with passports, right? The whole delay on passports. I think that's also done so that people think, oh, well, we won't bother them, we'll just stay in the UK, and our lives get smaller and smaller and smaller. And you'll know that, holidaying in Turkey, my view on this is that you have to keep going, you have to keep travelling, and you have to keep enduring the nonsense that you're being put through. Anyway, wait one. Talk amongst yourselves. I also believe regional airports, and I've been through a few of them recently. They are quite challenging, and I never realised so many people in Newcastle drank so early in the morning. I was at Newcastle Airport at 6 a.m. and everybody was on it, which I applaud, because I think if there's one way to get through regional airports, it's by drinking a lot very early in the morning. So I'm now back from Blackpool, and the weekend in Blackpool, if any, I would neck it, but actually I'm not near my resupply. I didn't bring the bottle with me, which is, we may have to take a pause while I go and find my wine. Blackpool was brilliant. I don't know how many of you were there, but it was brilliant because of you, and it was brilliant because of the audience that were there, and it was brilliant because everybody in the audience had a lovely time. Whether I was there or Alex was there or any of those things, it was just that the audience had a lovely time. And people told me that they went in, some people came on their own and then made friends, and some people at the end hugged all the row behind them. One lady discharged herself from hospital so that she could be there, and then she wasn't going to go back to hospital till the next day because she was having a lovely time and they wanted her to go straight back, and she wasn't going to. In terms of jokes, so I was making jokes about the fact that I had these shoes on, these boots, and as I looked down I realised I looked like the caliper lady. I don't know if you remember her, but she was a lady inside of a charity donation place box thing, and you put pennies in the top, and she had calipers on. Is this all too weird? Anyway, I decided that I was caliper lady. I think she was from the Spastic Society, was she? I don't know. Anyway, I decided I looked like her. And then later on, one of our audience members came up and he goes, oh, you think you're the caliper lady, you think you're the representative for the Spastics. I am actually an official. And then he started showing off with what his condition was called. And that was the whole point, was that you couldn't offend anyone. Connection. Oh, can you hear? And but people that I wasn't taking the piss out of, but taking the piss out of myself, would come up later and go, I'm more of a spastic than you are. On stage, I think I nearly did Joey Deacon at one point. So I started doing Joey Deacon, and then I got scared. And there was some other, what would we say, oversharing on stage as well. But it was the biggest. Oh, good morning from New Zealand. Good morning. I see Jacinda Ardern at the moment. She's in America and she's in Harvard, and everyone's standing up, giving her a standing ovation. And Jacinda Ardern, and she's done an interview for the BBC, forgetting that she locked down and crucified New Zealand, and that she removed God from the parliamentary prayer, and she went around in a complete Muslim get-up for about 3 weeks after the mosque shooting. Like, all of a sudden she's the angel figure. I have no trust for Jacinda Ardern ever. I'll never be able to look at an innocent lasagna again. So just to explain that, good evening from Wigan. Good evening, Wigan. It sounds like the Eurovision. Wigan, 12 points. Good evening, Wigan. So Alex suggested that my lady parts looked like a drop lasagna. And so I should clarify a couple of things on that. Number one, Alex, I don't know that he's ever been near anyone's lady parts. We're talking about Alex Belfield. My suspicion is that no, he hasn't. And therefore he has no measure of what my bits look like, because I don't believe he's ever seen any. Number two, he didn't see my lady parts because I have standards, and as low as they are, Belfield doesn't creep below that bar, or doesn't cross that bar. So, and number three, I think drop lasagna. I think a glimpse into paradise is actually what we're talking about in terms of my lady parts. So just to explain that, do I plan to do? Yes. So the plan in my head is to do a UK tour, and as part of that, I want to do village halls, and I want to do Legion, so British Legion village halls. I want to do the squash club. I want to come to the cricket club. I want to come to the local church. Church? You have to have a fairly forgiving pastor or vicar or priest. But I want to do a UK tour. But as part of that, I want to do weird little obscure place, someone's garden shed, and do it that way. But I also need to link into theatres. Jacinda has weird hair. She so has weird hair. And that's coming from someone who has very little hair and used to have lesbian hair. So that's what I want to do. But the trick is going to be trying to find theatres that will have me. And now that I've done Blackpool, and it was their biggest selling weekend, and they made a ton of cash, and they made a pile of cash at the bar, it should be that other theatres go, we want some of that. So I guess to you guys out there, if you can, if there's a theatre near you and they will have me come and do a show in their theatre, I will do it. So that will be the next thing, is trying to find other venues that will have me and that we can come to, so we can just go touring across the UK, and then I can come and see everyone everywhere. I particularly want to do, Southampton and Portsmouth, and get amongst the north as well. So I do have a date in Wales on the 20th of August in Llanelli. And I'm black in Blackpool. I don't think I'm black in Blackpool. I think I'm back in Blackpool. I do look like a horse when I do that. On the 10th of September. But I need to get about the place now. So I'm hoping that this will have broken the silencing of 5 years. And that's why Blackpool was kind of so epic. And then I want to be able to get into theatres. I'd love to get into Torquay as well, which would be a local one for me. Purely because we all need to have a laugh, because things are going to obviously get tougher and harder from here on in. And we can already see all of it. We've just had Rishi dished out 400 quid, hasn't he, per household. And I love the idea that because he has, 12 houses he has, he's like, I've done really, really well out of this policy. Works really well when you have a whole load of homes. Meanwhile, everyone else is like turning off their gas, turning off their electricity. And it is a craziness. So like the price of petrol and the rest of it is a craziness. And we know that we're being squeezed. But my God, you criticise Tesla, as I did this week. So I went to a Tesla charging station with my kettle to make the point that I think Tesla owners are mostly, not all, because some of them are us, but a lot of those Tesla owners are absolute jerks. And they think they're splendid, and they think they're better than the rest of us, and they sit in their Tesla, charging their Tesla, thinking they're splendid, working out where they can drive to next to charge their Tesla again, and they think they're saving the planet doing all of that. And I can see why they might not be, having purchased a car that's ridiculously expensive to put together, that has lithium batteries in it that are going to degrade, and we don't know what we're going to do with them. And generally, I just don't like it when someone thinks that they're morally superior to anyone, really, because everybody's an arsehole. But just try criticising a Tesla owner. Some of the... I mean, I don't read too many comments. I read comments because I want to hear from you guys and I want to know what I'm supposed to be doing, or you guys have ideas about what I should talk about. But these guys were very, very angry indeed. And it's one of the first times for a long time, you know, since it used to be all the time when I would be called things, where people have been very aggressive in making that I'm very stupid for what I say about Teslas, and also that all of us who, you know, maybe agree or sometimes have thought that Tesla owners can be a bit, they're like, oh, well, this is the lowest common denominator. Oh, well, I've just come here just to see how thick people are. Oh, well, this is supposed to be, you're just so stupid, you really la la la. And it's the weirdest thing. If you criticise a Tesla owner, their immediate reaction is that you're pig shit thick and that they are superior, which is kind of my point about... I don't drive my little shitty Fiat Panda and go, I'm so superior because I've got a shitty Fiat Panda. Monkeypox. So you'll know, I've got hair, I think. Not sure, is it a part? It might be part of my moustache. I'm not entirely sure. Is it my moustache? Is it attached to my face? I have started doing that thing where, I'm just looking at my nails because I've been gardening, where you start to look in the mirror. You won't know if you're young, but you look in the mirror in the daylight just to see how big my moustache is getting. Because I don't want to be one of those old ladies on a bus that you see and then the light catches it and you're like, oh my God, does she not realise she's got a moustache? I'm kind of relying on you guys to tell me when you can see if I get a moustache. Monkeypox, I know. And no one's allowed to say it, right? No one's allowed to say, have people been, you know, buggering monkeys? But that's what we're all thinking. So we're all thinking, well, hold on, where did monkeypox come from? And who was it that was banging monkeys, right? So, and then when it turns out, like, it was like, oh, don't worry, maybe you can catch it from bed sheets, or maybe you can catch it from, like, what did they say? No, did they say, they didn't say body contact, they were saying they said body fluids later, but to start with, they were like, maybe you can catch it from bed sheets. And we were all like, no, someone got it from banging a monkey, right? And then we're all like, and then they got it from banging each other. And then it turns out there was a cluster of events after Pride. And I'm not laughing about that because obviously we wish everybody well. But eventually it had to come out that it's particularly prevalent amongst the gay and bisexual community. So, and that's not funny either. It's just funny that all the way along, a whole bunch of us that weren't allowed to say it were like, they got it from banging monkeys. So I'm continuing with my banging monkey thing. And I have just ordered, for your pleasure, a flag with a banana on. So I intend to raise that in order to, like, protect the house from the monkeypox. And obviously I will film this. So that the plate, you know, like they used to put crosses on the door, didn't they, and ash on the door or whatever, so that you could be passed over. So I'm going to put the monkey banana flag up in our garden so that we may be passed over from the monkeypox, and maybe it will protect some of my neighbours as well. Hopefully just the ones I like. Like COVID, right? When if you didn't go out and clap at the doorstep, people wished you got COVID. Well, hopefully my banana flag will protect just the neighbours I like and the ones that tell me off for burning things in my garden like some pyromaniac. I was doing the lawn mowing today naked. Because it was really, really sunny and really, why not? And I think it's slightly well, I've always been a bit like that. And I think it's also like a rebellion thing. because of all of the kind of telling people what to do. It makes me go the other way. So I'm mowing my lawns naked and my husband looks out. He's like, what are you doing? I'm not sure why I got onto the naked mowing thing. Anyway, let's go back to my flag. So, oh yes, because the neighbours telling me off for burning things. If they're telling me off for burning things, next up they'll be telling me off for mowing my lawn naked. Why can't I pronounce my words? Mowing my lawn naked. Maybe my lips got too big. Someone asked me the other day if I've had my lips done. I haven't. This is just how big they always were. Everything on my face is big. Look, big, big, big. Even my chin's big. It's all big. Although the other day my daughter also asked me if I had had Botox. And I hadn't. So it's like, I'll just put that in my back pocket. Thanks very much. So in order for me to celebrate the Queen's Jubilee more effectively, we've raised the flagpole in the garden. I just saw a woodpecker. My father came round with cement and cemented it in. Well done, father. And I have now hoisted my union, and we made sure it was the right way. Why did you vote for Boris? I'll get to that. Go back to mowing the lawn. Well, you've put mooing the lawn, which I could also do. Something of an old cow. So I've put up my union flag. We've made sure it's the right way up. I'm going to switch it out briefly for the banana flag because of the pox. But we'll put the union back up. And then I've put red, white and blue bunting up and down my hedgerows. So my home, basically, if you're a massive Remainer and you hate Great Britain and you hate British things, my home is now designed to piss you off. And I guess people can drive by and go, that's that twatting Hopkins woman that everyone hates in there. Yeah, BNP. But I don't really care at all what anyone else thinks because I love it. The more flags everybody has up, the better. If you have a union flag or you can dangle one from something, your own nipples, if you need to, bloody do it. Why did I vote for Boris? Because at the time I thought he was the best choice. And actually, I would still say, not that I would ever vote for Boris, and I do think he should be out, and I think it's disgusting, and I think the way he's treated the general population has been hideous. But I would also say you have to choose your monsters. And knowing what I know about Keir Starmer, that's not a monster I want to choose either. So I don't want Keir Starmer. We'll park that for another day, but he's not on our team. And I don't mean sexually. Boris Johnson shouldn't be. I think the whole lot. I think the whole of Parliament needs to be just got rid of. And I know that's not helpful because it's not a solution. But I have faith in virtually a handful of them. And that's it. Charles Walker would be one that I do have faith in. The rest, I think, are disgusting. And I don't know how anybody's going to ever vote again. Anyway, Boris, lesser of two evils. It's a trick, isn't it? But you do have to choose your monsters. And that's why when people are like, get rid of Putin. Okay, and then who? And then what? Same in Syria. Get rid of Assad. And then who? And then what? Because the new monster is not typically much better than the old monster. And it was weird, wasn't it, to see the monsters gathering at Davos, the World Economic Forum, now that you see more of what's going on and you see what's happening and you see these 1,500 elites gathering to talk about how our world should be. One of them talking about, although they say it's from 2019, but fact checkers, about a pill that you can swallow that then sends signals to say that you've taken it. And the guy said, imagine the compliance. Like you heard him say it like I would say, imagine clotted cream on ice cream, one of my favourite things. He was like, imagine the compliance. Like, that's what he gets moist about, is the compliance. And then they all flew in on their jets and then they all discussed what they would do to us. And I think the sort of idea was that we would all own all of our carbon footprint, all of our travel, what we eat, what we wear, what we do. And then you can imagine, can't you, one day where you only get 100 credits total. You can allocate those credits to your carbon footprint. But once you hit your carbon footprint, you're not allowed to go anywhere. You're not allowed to buy anything. You're not allowed to have anything. You're not allowed to own any. You're not allowed to travel. And then that would mean that each individual they could manage perfectly as this tiny little unit that they control. I know, all very sinister. your shoulders up. F-bomb, amazing. Well, thank you. I do it because when you reach a certain age, obviously you're not going to go walking around with small clothing items on, are you? I mean, unless you're naked lawn mowing, which I do. So I do it so that, you're still signalling to people to get the F-bomb out of my way if you're anti or you're a pervert or a Remainer or a mask pervert or a COVID weirdo or someone from the health profession who thinks we still needs to wear masks. Joey Deacon. And also because during lockdown, that was my kind of reaction, was that whole, right, we build stronger, ready for the fight, which I am always ready for. What's my opinion on non-binary being a thing? Oh, mates, I've always, we did this in Blackpool, right? Which is like, you do whatever you want to do, be whatever you want to be, but don't ask me to change to fit in with you. Don't ask me to believe what you think you are. Don't ask me to change how I address you because you want to be called this. Don't expect me to allow you in a bathroom with my children, or when my children are in a bathroom, I'm going to be in there with them, even at whatever age, if you think someone's sharing that with them who's a different gender. So all of that stuff. But just you do you, but don't ask me to believe what you believe, which is where we've gone wrong, I think. I don't care if you want to identify as a sausage, doesn't matter to me. Just don't ask me to believe you're a sausage, or don't make me, and don't make it hate speech if I say, I don't think you're a sausage, but I'm happy that you think you are. Here's a bun. Would you like some ketchup on your head? And actually, truth be told, I think it's a sad sign. I think people have lost their crazy minds and it's coming out in all mad ways. And I can't blame anybody for losing their minds because everybody's been treated like psychopaths and many people have turned into psychopaths. And sometimes when people don't know how to get attention the right way, like a child, they try and get attention the wrong way. And that's been true for a decade or so now. Instead of trying to be strong and the best at something or very good at something, it's sewing, needlework, planting potato. It doesn't matter what the thing is. It's not a competitive thing. Instead of trying to be really good at things, people try and be the weakest. I'm more of a victim. Oh no, I'm weaker than you. Oh no, I'm more hard done by than you. Oh well, I didn't have a parent. Oh well, I live in a small home. Oh well, I'm and it was like a competition for who could be the weakest. And that's the opposite of what I've always thought. It's always been, come on then. That's why I'm still this much of an arsehole now. Right, and thanks for supporting India, always. The Indian diaspora, the best of us. And I guess that was one of the last times I got into some bit more of hot water in London was when the Muslim mafia had defaced the Indian embassy in London, and then it wasn't cleaned up because of the idiots we have running London who aren't exactly allies of our Indian diaspora. And so I went there, talked about that, and then teams came out and cleaned up the Indian embassy, and then I went down and faced the mob down in Parliament Square, and that all got a bit out of control, and then I was escorted away by the Met Police for my own safety. Personally, I think they should have escorted the mob away who were spitting at me, pulling at my hair, and wanted to kill me. But it was me that got taken away. But always, anything for our Indian friends here in the UK, because truly you're the best of us. And I only wish that more of our country was occupied by you, and less of those that would also wish to chop my head off. Hello from Scotland. Hello. I would love to get to Scotland and do some shows with you as well. So that's really my plan for 2023. If I daren't say it, because when you say things you jinx it, don't you? But my 2023 whole aim would be, and before I'm 50 would be great, because if 50 is the end date, get it in before the expiration date or before I lose my memory completely. That would be my dream for 23, is a UK tour, and then we can all go out on a big old high. Hi from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hello, my loves. Just a quick one on the Texas shooting. It's horrible seeing people from both sides trying to win over the shooting in the school in Texas. No one wins from a shooting in a school in Texas. No political side wins. No pro-gun lobby. No anti-gun lobby. No one wins. It's just horrible and sad. And people should have been in there within a heartbeat and taken that little twat out. And I'm so admiring of the mother who broke through police lines to get into that school and got some kids out. And that's always those things where you wish you'd been there, because you feel like, well, I definitely would have tried to get in there and just done something. No one wins. And that's when I think Twitter's at its worst, when people say things for clicks and likes and retweets after that's happened. And then you get Meghan Markle there for the picture opportunity, laying her roses. Just go home, shut up, and be sorry. So that's how I feel about that. Right, the world needs a journalist like me. Oh, well, thank you. It still has one. I'm still here, and all the stuff I've ever done still exists. I'm just not over yet. And I'm not sure that the tide is turning, but I know that we're many. And I think COVID and all of that nonsense helped wake a lot of us up to what's going on, and that's why the monkeypox thing, frankly, we're like monkey banging. We're not falling for that one, loves. We're done with the whole scary shit. The usual people will still be scared, but not us. We're done. Right, my loves. Yes, exactly. What do I think about Markle going to Texas? I think she's a complete twat. I think she'll do anything for the cameras. Anything for her Netflix, and it would be absolutely a joy if Netflix pulled the plug on those two laymasters. And actually, the idea that they're going to be around for the Jubilee, I think many British people would say they'd prefer it if they weren't around, because we don't really care that they're there. We'd rather the Queen had a nice day. Just let her have one nice day without you being a ginger twat or bringing the trailer trash with you for your Netflix bullshit. Just piss off for one day. Just shut up for one day. Okay. I will say good night. I will love you and leave you. I will go back to my naked gardening, just to give you something to, think about on when you can't sleep. Probably give you nightmares. Just forget about the varicose vein, the other issues that many of you know about from Blackpool. And I will see you, for anyone that's still here, next week. Have a great half term, and you'll find me mostly erecting my banana monkeypox plague monkey bangers flag in my garden. You can look forward to that this week. Okay, I'll see you next week, same time, hopefully back in the office, not in front of the piano. See you next week.